Hello everybody and welcome to Skrrt Garage. My name is Connor and this is my beloved E30 Touring. I want to take a moment to make a quick video just about some things to consider before you go ahead and sign pen to paper and buy an E30 Touring, or really any 30-year-old car for that matter. I want to talk about it because I've had this car for about 10 months, something like that, and I have filmed probably 80 hours worth of footage on this car, and yet I've only uploaded 2 small videos. And there's kind of a reason behind that, and I want to talk about that real quick. I want to give you guys a little bit of a view into the ownership of one of these cars, at least from my perspective, maybe help you guys determine if it's the right thing for you or just really what to expect when you do go to buy these. So with that, stick with me and we will get this video started. Okay guys, we are back, and what I want to do is quickly tell you a little bit about myself when I bought the car, my frame of mind and what I was thinking, and then hopefully you can compare that to yourself and see where you guys are at when you're about to buy the car. So when I wanted this, the E30 Touring, something about the paint, the Laguna Green, the vibe of it, the nostalgia of it, the 5-speed transmission, the houndstooth seats, all that stuff just kind of kept playing around in my head, and I've always wanted an E30 just because it's such a benchmark car. Everybody compares steering and handling and just fun and reliability even to an E30. And so I wanted to cross that off the list, just see what it's like to have a benchmark, a true benchmark from the 80s, early 90s, to see, you know, I guess as a stepping stone to other cars from that era or going forward. And another thing about myself is before this car, before this 1991 E30, the oldest car I had ever owned was within 5 years of being brand new. So I've never really owned any older cars, and while I do love to get my hands dirty and work on things, the most you catch me doing on a 5-year-old car is, you know, all the fluids, diff, transmission, stuff like that, aftermarket modifications, so like charge pipes, down pipes, intercoolers, exhaust systems, you know, stuff like that. Nothing that's real mechanical, no welding, no body work, none of that. And I guess I just got this frame of mind that every car had to drive like it was less than 5 years old. And so when I bought this E30 Touring, I just expected everything to work, and I expected everything to kind of have that same almost new feel. And that's just kind of what I expect as a driver and as an enthusiast. And when the car got here, it barely went into gear, and it had rust, and it had just neglected work everywhere. And so I sat back, I said, okay, this is an imported car. I knew it was gonna have some stuff to work through. I don't mind. And here's the funny thing. First thing I want you guys to consider when buying these cars is, what type of driving experience do you want from the car? If you want it to be what it is, a 1980, 1990 E30, and it's only gonna be like that era of car, and you're okay with not having a nice radio, you're okay with not having good air conditioning or even air conditioning to begin with, you're okay with lousy performance and sloppy steering, then you can buy the car and drive it. You know, it really is a reliable car if you just want to go from A to B. If you want to, you know, maximize that E30 experience, then you're gonna have to do a lot of work. And when I bought the car, I bought all these aftermarket, you know, modifications, some things that look cool, that have a nice aesthetic appearance to it. But I was just shocked by how much true labor had to go into this car. And like I said, I have 80 hours of footage on this thing sitting on my SIM cards or my SD cards for these cameras, and that's because I've done everything. I've swapped the gas tank and all the gas lines, I've swapped out the differential, I've swapped out the drive line, I've redone almost every seal on this engine, transmission, everything. Like, I've taken it apart and put it back together, it feels like multiple times. And in doing that, the one thing I can really and honestly say is this car is a peach to work on. It's very easy. The only learning curve I really had was how to take bolts off that had rust. Besides that, this thing is like a Lego set for grown adults. It's very easy to take apart, put back together. It's not very complicated. Everything's very accessible. There isn't an overabundance of electronics. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that when people tell you it is easy to work on and it is reliable, they're not lying. It really is a very reliable and easy car to work on. But I just want you to be prepared, and everyone's gonna tell you it's a 30-year-old car, things are gonna happen, but they will. And if you're like me and you expect every car you own to be perfect or to have that kind of buttoned down tight feel, you're not gonna really enjoy this car for a while, because it's gonna take a minute for you to kind of dial it in up to your standards. So I guess to kind of reiterate everything I've said and summarize it, if you want to buy an E30 to be an E30 or older, any 1980s, 1990s car to be what it is, then you can jump in it, and most of them are pretty dang reliable. Even this thing, even if I didn't change anything on it, it would have still driven me to A and B back and forth however many times I wanted it to, because it is a reliable car. But because I'm a little bit OCD, type A, anal, whatever you want to call me, I spent a lot of time fixing this thing, and it's for my benefit, for the next owner's benefit, but I didn't want to sell this car or walk away from it without getting the full E30 experience. And so I did. I changed everything. I swapped all the suspension. I put brand new Bilstein shocks on it. I did everything I could to make it like the quintessential E30, so I could at least have that experience in my back pocket for the future. And so if you are going to buy one, just know that if you're like me and you want it to be perfect, or you want to have the ultimate E30 experience, it's going to take a lot of time, money, and effort. Or you can just spend more money to begin with and already do what someone like me has done. So with that, just a couple quick things to consider before you buy one of these cars. The next video I'm going to make is actual review of it now that it is finished and it's ready to be driven and ready to be reviewed. And then I'm also going to talk about some of the specific upgrades I've done, some of the fun upgrades I've done, because it's not been purely maintenance. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick little video. I hope you will give it a big old like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you for sticking around for the channel. And if you like this car and you do want me to do anything with it, let me know in the comments down below. Love you guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Peace.